Hello everyone. This is the sequel of the previous video which I have explained about how to explain the complex uh, concept in much more simpler way, sequel 2. So in this video we're going to see 5 different steps how to articulate that in better way to have more precise idea on splitting the complex idea into a simpler one. First, identify the core message. What is the core message? When you discuss about the core message, keep these 3 things in your mind. Ask yourself these 3 questions. First one, what is the main idea that I'm going to convey to my audience or to my listener? Second one, remember one important point that the audience have to take away from the entire speech or entire concept which I'm going to teach them. Third one, why does it actually matters a lot? Why it is so much important? What kind of a significance does it holds? These 3 questions ask yourself before making any kind of a structured way of building a concept while explaining it to the huge audience. Second step, the power of chunking. So when you're doing too much of junking into the minds of the people, keep these 3 rules in the mind. First rule, present the first main important point or important concept that you want them to get memorized with or understand. Second one, make it as a sequel. So this video is also a sequel because in the previous video I have spoken for 7 minutes. A video should comprise only of 5 minutes. So I am making it to a split up. So which your content which you're going to explain, it will not make them feel bored. So split it, segregate it, make it into a fragment. For example, if you want to teach AI, so start with the first pattern of recognizing what is machine learning, then you go with neural networking. This is how you can go pattern by pattern or fragment by fragment while you're teaching a huge topic to an entire audience. Third one, powerful analogies. As I said before, instead of memorizing all the 7 colors, we have made it into a WebGR. So every word that denotes one color. Likewise, use analogy a lot. Second, cloud storage. Imagine our brain as a cloud storage locker, and whatever that we store it there for a longer period of time. That's how the knowledge is getting aquatine into the minds of the people. So whatever the important message, store it in a locker and keep it safe. For example, when you learn photosynthesis when you're doing your school time, it has always been explained with the help of a tree or a plant, right? So the entire concept of photosynthesis is explained with the help of plant, through which the photosynthesis it helps the plant to grow, through which we are consuming the food. Plant plants eating sunlight like a how we people eat food. Simpler, complex structure of explaining the photosynthesis, but using a simpler example, fragment by fragment, it is easy for them to memorize it. Fourth one, create a visual impact. Whenever you explain a concept, try to make them visualize it as a story. First one, imagine a library with billions of book. So first, what do we say? We are making the audience to make them to imagine a huge place which comprises of thousands of books. Second one, do not intervene in between by giving too much of note. Then third, make them to concentrate on your sensory languages. So first you make them to close their eyes, ask them to imagine a huge hall with varieties of book with different colors, with different authors, with different language it has been arranged. They'll start imagining. Imagination triggers the memory to last the knowledge that has been stored for a longer period of time. The final one, fine method, which verifies the understanding. First, explain it very much simply. Imagine that you're teaching it to a 10-year-old. So you know what word you have to use and how far simple language you have to use it. Any complex concept, if you want to explain, imagine you're going to explain it to a 10-year-old child. Next, identify what is the gap, what is the struggle that the person is having while they're understanding the concept. Third one, remove all the plain languages and the jargon languages. Fourth, get the feedback from the person. Did you really understand the concept which I've been explaining it? If you feel or if that person feel like no, the content is still more difficult, go with much more diluted way. So much concentrated messages that you're going to put into their head, it's going to be very much burden for them. Articulations. So all these slides which we have discussed or which we have seen before is all about how I could make the framework while I'm teaching it. So how am I supposed to articulate it? How am I supposed to present it? First, always have a clear content. Along with that, if the clear content is not being delivered properly, then your message is of no use. The message will be, uh, get diluted into thin air. First, concentrate on your pronunciation. Pronunciation matters a lot. We might be very good in our communication, but then if our pronunciation is not up to the mark, people might have a misconception with the words. Second, do not rush. Go with the pace. Like don't rush like how the way that I am actually presenting it. Always have a proper gap in between, so which they can understand what is the word that I have used, how it is supposed to be pronounced, and what is the time gap that you have taken. Third one, modulation. Do not stick on with one plain modulation. That will make them to feel sleepy and boring. Try to have variation with your tone and your accent. That makes the story more interesting. There are five articulation tools that you can actually use it. The first one is your voice control, pronunciation, filler avoidance, breathtaking pauses, and the last is the feedback. So how am I supposed to get control with the voice that I have got? Imagine you're attending a prayer in a church. So when you start attending a prayer in the church, the pastor, whenever he explains it, he don't have only one set of way or framework of saying the story. He explains the story and he says what is the meaning of it, and then he goes to a song. Again the preaching continues. Why there's a gap in between for singing is because you people need to be awakened with the knowledge that has been given before, and you should not be feel bored. That's the reason a gap is given in between, in which they are making you to do an activity and then it carry forward. So voice does plays a very important role. Second, pronunciation. People have too much confusion with the pronunciation. It is actually pronunciation is the right word. Be clear with your pronunciation. Third one, try to avoid using a lot of fillers. If you're not so much contentful, definitely to fill the gap, we'll use a lot of fillers. That's what we call it as fillers. So if you avoid a lot of fillers using instead of that place, instead of using fillers, we might extend a word by saying like basically example. Avoid all this. Try to stick on to the content, so which your content will not get diluted. In between, try to take a pause. So which you can have a pause, one, and two, you can also remember what you were trying to say. So and the last one, feedback. Feedback is very much important. It benefits in both the way. One, it benefits the audience. They can say what is their opinion on the understanding level that they have been experienced with. And two, you can improve yourself. So this feedback is very much important. So follow all these five articulation element. Trust me, your videos or your speech is gonna go really viral. What are the mistakes that we could avoid while we are presenting it? Consider these 4 points as very important before you do a presentation. The first one, too much of information. Do not overwhelm the audience with too much of information, because it's very hard for them to put in all the information at a stretch in one go. Two, do not speak fastly, because not everybody could understand the pace of your speech. We should go into the pace of their own understanding level. Third one, do not assume the knowledge that you people have got. State the fact and state whatever that is given as the truth statement, instead of giving an assumption, ideas, or a context. The final one, do not use any heavy words or jargon, but that literally going to confuse the people. Final slide which gonna explain about the 30 days plans that you can follow it, so which you can articulate it in better way. The first week you can concentrate on the articulations daily. For example, you can do a recording session of your own video, and then you can say how far you're communicating it, how far you are presenting it in front of the camera. The second one, try to use a lot of tongue twisters, so which you can articulate it in a more faster way. The second week, try to concentrate on the framework of explaining the concept in 3 steps. Okay, first important point. Two, the body of the concept they want to explain. Find what is the takeaway. So construct it in these three concepts, and then you see how far you are presenting it on that. Do a recorded session, everything that I'm saying. Then third one, explain the concept that that you are preparing to one of your friend and get a feedback from them. Finally, participate in a GD and a debate. See how far you have exercised the knowledge of articulation. With all this, trust me, you can actually do a better articulation, and you will know how to explain a concept, the difficult concept, into much more simpler way where everybody can understand. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll catch you up in the next video. Thank you so much. Final slide, which gonna explain about the 30